What's up guys, welcome to today's video. The first thing that we're going to do before we drive the Mustang around or anything, because I'm an idiot and I forgot my laptop at home with the new HTG settings for the GCU, we are going to try to finish this thing up. So I got the brand new OEM intake manifold gasket from the guys over at Njuku. They've got a bunch of rad Nissan stuff in stock. If you look in the description, I have a code for Njuku. If you guys ever need to order any drift parts, 350Z, 240, whatever, definitely go check it out and use my code ADAMLZ. It'll get you free shipping. They are the title sponsor of my S15 this year, just like last year, and they've always supported me, so I appreciate it when you support them. If you guys saw in the last video at Titan, Marco actually did a little bit of heating up, bending, and milling to this thing to get it super flat. So now, when we press it up against the head, it's very, very level. And I'm actually gonna torque it kind of like you would a head gasket and go from the inside out, just so to make sure it has the best seal possible. And then using that OEM gasket, we're also gonna put a little bit of Permatex Ultra Gray on it, just to ensure the best seal possible. On top of the gasket from Fish, I also put some silicone on. I don't want to risk taking another chance and having to take this thing apart because it's such a pain. I think I'm also going to replace this coolant hose down here just to put that fresh and rule out any possibility of any more coolant leaking from this thing again. Before I started slapping stuff on, I swapped out that coolant hose that I have to basically bypass the heater core, just to make sure that that wasn't getting old and possibly having any little hairline leaks. Low TPS, it's like slipping. I can feel that. They taught me how to do everything, but it's just very confusing. Oh, I didn't like that. At least it'll stay in one gear now. It's sick, it does one gears now.
This is my first time in it, it's nuts.
I've just barely even gotten into it. Maybe I have to record this.
You want me to
I have such little confidence in my job here. Sorry. I don't have a little confidence in my job. There's a lot of stuff that like seemed to be warped and didn't want to like sit flush, so. Why is it doing that?
Yeah,
turn down the regulator?
Yeah, that's nice.
I don't want to put 120 PSI in the system. I don't think it can handle that. I do hear something. Is it that?
Yeah, it's right here.
Where's the wrench?
That's an easy
It's just on the gun if you want to just gun it.
No, I don't gun it.
So you don't
He wants me to gun it.
You know your O-rings are leaking any?
Nah. I mean, we'll see if after this is fixed.
Does not much pressure anymore. I mean, so I think in theory maybe we're good. Now the question is it going to leak coolant? Right. So now that it's all back together, it's only about like 3 more hours to do the rest of the dumb crap, like put the brake booster in and put the lines back on and finished the annoying process that I've basically avoided forever, and it's still leaking water. The good news is it doesn't appear to be between the plates. The bad news is it possibly between the plate and the actual intake manifold vacuum thing now. I'm just like, I can't tell because it kind of looks like it's seeping between the plates. We also visibly saw it leaking out of this thing, which has water running through it. So I'm not sure where it is exactly. I wonder if I didn't tighten it enough, but it was weird because one was like kind of stripping. Like, you see the water in there?
Yeah. Show them on camera here, but
I just don't know if it's dribbling down this or if it's blowing out. Either way, it's big sad tonight. Big sad, but as you see in the title, potentially big happy. I don't know, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but sucks to be defeated by this stupid thing. Every morning we struggle to wake up early, but today me and Mike are so excited. Mike's more excited than I am, right, Mike?
yes.
All I can say is, I got you, buddy. Florida problems.
Florida weather.
I've been looking for this car for about a year. This is the closest to what I think might actually happen. A lot of dead ends I've hit. I'm beyond excited.
One more time.
We've got about a 2-hour drive up to Gainesville to go check this car out. We'll talk more about it in the car. It's a beautiful morning. I don't even know what that means in Florida, but let's go. Mike, I'm gonna need you to help me. I don't think you've looked at used cars with me. I always need someone to like hold me back per se, because I'll get like emotionally invested when I look at a car, and then like even if I'm like, I'll start making excuses for it. I'll be like, oh yeah, well the paint's real bad, but I could just repaint it. I could just repaint it.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
I need to be real with you.
Yeah, or like when I bought my Skyline, I was like, oh man, like I'm pretty sure these compression numbers read low, but it's probably a bad compression tester. Like I've done that way too many times. But yeah, I'm super excited. I don't know if I'm just being dumb with trying to like lead you guys on if I put the car in the title or if it didn't make it in the title because I didn't get it. But I'm definitely not lying. This is the longest in my life I've ever looked at a car. I've probably been looking for one of these since last summer and talked to so many people, paid for so many Carfaxes, sent people to go look at cars for me, and hopefully this might be the one.
Fingers crossed.
I know. Pulling up, we're meeting the seller in a Publix parking lot. I mean, he's probably pretty scared of us because we're driving a big white pickup truck. I'd be scared of me too. Well, where is it? It should stick out like a sore thumb. Yeah, no, I see it. Relax! Well, we're at Chase, which means I officially made a bad decision. I am about where I wanted to be on price. However, the car is a little bit less clean than I wanted. Mostly with paint / bodywork. Oh yeah, well the paint's real bad, but I could just repaint it. I think the car is gonna be great. I think it is perfect for what my intentions are. I feel good about it. I'm excited. I'm more excited for the content that we get to make for it. Oh, yeah. It's not like one of those things where right off the bat I'm super excited. Like it's exactly what I wanted. But I think that I think this is the right move. And I'm excited to see what you guys think of it. So when we change clips, there's gonna be a nice little cinematic montage with Mike's red. No audio though.
No.
And. Hot in there, brother.
Yeah?
Dude, there's no way this dude has driven this car in like the last year. Dude, it had 10 PSI in all the tires.
Oh my god.
That's probably why it felt like junk. Hopefully the alignment's half decent because it's like pulling super hard to one side, but yeah, dude, the tires were flat.
Man.
So, I guess we start the journey. You want to stop and get food somewhere halfway so I can cool off?
Yes, please.
I gotta pee too, man. Everywhere's closed because of COVID.
Stupid.
First drive, guys, and I can't figure out where reverse is, so I had to call Tommy. Tommy, would you say it was down over to the left?
I think it's down. I think you have to push the shifter like down and go to the left and up, kind of like a Volkswagen. Does that feel like reverse?
Mine doesn't push down though.
It won't really push down. I don't know. It like kind of pushes down.
All right, well, I guess I'll just put it in gears until I can find it. handbrake in this car?
It's right next to the shifter on the right side of the tunnel.
There's no handbrake. Oh, I found reverse. I found it.
Where is it?
It was like all the way over and up. Dude, I like don't fit in this car.
Oh, you're too tall? It's because the stock seats put your knees right on the steering wheel that don't tilt the steering wheel.
Yeah, I know, and the freaking, wow. I do not fit in this, and the steering wheel is so low. It doesn't move up, right?
No, you gotta get just better seats. When you drove my RZ seats, those are cheap.
Yeah. All right, noted. Thank you, Tommy. All right. This feels like way different than an FD. You can feel the weight right away. And I know it's not really that much heavier, but instantly the car feels big. I gotta remember, I got Mike following me in the truck. There's a lot going on right now. Sounds so American. Oh, creakiness in the steering wheel. Clutch is manageable. Imagine seeing this car and then realizing it has a V8 in it. It'd be so disappointing. I really want to know why there's no handbrake in this thing. It was not disclosed in the ad that it didn't come with a handbrake. It's got some grunt. Okay. Alright. Not bad. I gotta remember though, I do not have a plate on it. Man, I feel like such a big person in this car. It just sounds so wrong. Definitely needs to be aligned. Big time. Whoa. Pulls to the right super hard. I really hope I don't regret this decision. I'm sitting here finagling with this head unit just to realize that it's actually so old that, oh yeah, it's also hot in here. The AC isn't working at the moment, but it does have AC. That it only lets you connect Bluetooth for phone, but not for music. How funny is that? I think the most fun I've had so far is watching Mike whip the truck in the rear view. It's got no handbrake in it, so starts are a little tricky. She's a stinky girl. Also got no plate on it, so we want to stay civil, make sure we don't get pulled over. Will Mike make the turn? My guy. It's weird because the guy that I got it from, like, definitely not a car person, but it's weird that it has like harnesses and the steering wheel's crooked, like I had an aftermarket wheel on it with the airbag light on. There's confusing stuff going on with this car. That's my feeling every time someone revs a V8. Torque! What did you say about my V8? Not exactly the most confidence inspiring. The guy that I got it off is like, yeah, I've never had it on the highway before. Oh, I can tell. She's wiggling around. It's rough. Thank God PSI has an alignment rack next door. Wow, 6 gears actually too long. Now it won't go into gear. This is gonna be a long ride home. I wonder if something's loose. Hopefully not. I gotta give it credit. I basically just drove a swapped car that was owned by someone that didn't really know much about cars. 2 hours. I definitely didn't do my due diligence. I definitely should have checked over more, but I guess I was operating with ignorance. Oh, it's an LS. It'll be alright. Not yet. And yeah, no, it was good. Before I tell you the story behind this car, look at what we realized. So this car, after looking at it, I realized it had about 2 inches of toe in. Me, of all people, should have done my due diligence and looked at the alignment. But I drove home like that and it started raining. It was terribly sketchy. But the good news is, once I get it aligned and once I get new tires on, it'll probably feel like a brand new car. I realized one of the tie rods wasn't even tight. That was just dumb on my part. I should have brought some tools, should have brought the toe plates. That would have been a very out of move. So this car obviously has an LS. I did not want an LS FD. For about the past year, I've been looking for a CYM or competition yellow mica FD Rx7. And if you aren't familiar with that, it's basically just this yellow color. They're only 350 made in the US, so it's pretty rare, pretty hard to find. And the people that have them do not want to let them go. So actually, over the past year, I have looked at probably 3 to 5 cars I've had friends go look at and all over the United States to try to find the right car. And this one just happened to be the one that I picked up. So I will say the plan was to not keep the 13B. So that's one of the reasons why having an LS doesn't really matter, because it's going to get pulled out. So if you want to know like the specs and all that, this is actually an LS3 crate motor with a cam from Chevy. So I believe it makes somewhere in the mid 400s. That's got a brand new T56 Magnum. It's got a Sandberg rear end setup with a 488. It's got a bunch of other Sandberg stuff. I don't know anything about LSs or RX-7s. All I know is the people I talked to said I can sell this stuff for quite a bit of money. So the plan is to rip basically the entire LS heart, wiring, everything out of this car and do an FD justice. But a 13B will not be going back in. Maybe you guys have some ideas of what I would want to put in this. Maybe you don't, but you can leave that kind of up to your imagination. But in the meantime, it's going to be a little while before I get the new heart all set for this car. So if you guys have anything you want to see me do with it, I'm more than happy to. We got a running car now, and I don't like taking running cars apart until it's time. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna kind of enjoy it, clean it up, maybe dial in some body, fitment, aesthetics. There's one thing that I'm not too crazy about. Come back here, you might have noticed in the video, it actually has feed rear fenders molded on. And the paint on the car is like, I'd say 6 or 7 out of 10. But back here, where they molded it on, it's gonna be hard to see in the sliding, but there's like little cross hatching, because usually this fender would like come down to here. So kind of cool that it has overs, but I was really looking for a car that was all original. And most of them are either resprayed or have failing clear coat, because the CYM color is just kind of meh. I actually wanted a right-hand drive one. They go for a little bit cheaper, but I just prefer right-hand drive. But the reason I didn't end up getting one, pretty much all the cars from Japan, they all have body kits or tampered with, and I didn't want something with gauges or a bunch of aftermarket bull crap. I wanted to start with something as stock as possible, since this has been like one of my dream cars forever. But this will kind of give you a good idea, if you know RX-7s, how clean this is. Not a speck or rust back here. It's pretty cool seeing a yellow wheel and this yellow wheel well. Something I was geeked out about. But and if you look too, like interior obviously is not clean, but it's very clean. There's no real cracks, nothing's really broken. Like I mentioned in the GoPro video, it is missing a handbrake for some weird reason. But overall, black interiors are rather expensive if I had to swap one in. And this one's in really great shape. Looks like it just needs a little bit of TLC, and we should be looking good as new. One of the other special things about this car, and the reason why I went for this one, even though it has an LS, this car actually only has 2 owners. So the guy we got it from has had this car since 1998.
Yeah.
So that's wild. That's like over 20 years, and then the other person had it before him, and I guess he was going through like some sort of midlife crisis, he said, and then just decided that 350 horsepower was enough, so he sent it to some shop to put an LS in it, and they told him he needed rear fenders to get more traction. And you know, there's a lot of cool little stuff, like you might have noticed he did put tasteful wheels on it. It's got Stop Tech brakes, it's got all new bushings underneath, it's got coilovers, so like the car's like pretty decently set up off the get-go, and he just needed money for his daughter's tuition, and the ad listing on Facebook wasn't really targeted the best, so I was able to swipe in there before all the other FD guys got in there, because all these CYM cars are going super fast. So if you follow me on other forms of social media, I haven't been that secretive about the fact that I've been looking for a CYM FD, and I know a lot of you guys have been helping me by sending me links to cars and stuff, and a lot of the cars, even though they look good on the outside, have just been complete trash. So I'm very happy with this car. It's not perfect, but I think for what I want to use it for, it's pretty dang good. So if you're stoked on it, or if I got you trolled a little bit, be sure to let me know. If you're excited for the FD content and you want to see me do some stuff with the LS, let me know. And I'm looking forward to my very first FD Rx7.
When you said